Welcome back to another car market video, and today we are going to be looking at the Audi RS7 market, specifically the C8. Before we get into it, make sure to hit that subscribe button. A big thank you to everyone for the support. We have hit 1,000 subscribers, so there will be a giveaway announcement soon. So make sure to subscribe for notifications about that and for more content to come. Before we get into it as well, if you could follow me over on Instagram and also TikTok for more frequent posts, that would be much appreciated. And as mentioned, today we're going to be looking at the Audi RS7 market, specifically the C8 car, and also the newer performance model, which came out in 2023. And then also we're going to compare that to the list prices. So these cars have dropped massively. They are significantly cheaper than the RS6 due to the less desirable practicality on the RS7. Personally, I think these represent great value for money. You can now pick one up for under £55,000. That car is the highest mileage car on the market, 45,000 miles on a 70 plate. To give you an idea, new these cars would have been around £110,000 with options potentially up to 120 to 130. And currently the list price for a base spec car is £120,000. So as you can see there, this one has been previously listed a lot cheaper. However, that car has been up there for quite a while and relisted. Generally, it's been the cheapest for quite a while. However, due to the miles, it doesn't seem to be selling. In reality, this first car, which is currently the cheapest, would realistically, in my opinion, retail at about £50,000. Currently, the cheapest RS6, to give you an idea, is around £60,000. And as you can see there, we've got cars with 35,000 miles, so around 10,000 miles less, selling for close to 55k. This one here, in fact, has done just 26,000 miles from new. So a very low mileage, high spec car with a lot of options on it. And that car has lost around about the £60,000 mark. So £60,000 after 26,000 miles. Big depreciation on these cars. Generally, they are not as desirable as the RS6, which means they end up losing quite a lot of money. These cars do have the 4-litre V8 twin turbo in a lot of the VAG group cars. As you can see there, we've got some big drops on these cars. This one been dropped almost £5,000. This is also the carbon black edition with a lot of options on it as well, and that is closer to the 4-spring spec of cars. And you can see in general, a lot of these cars are not selling from the dealers, being reduced by about £1,000 to £5,000. And we have currently got around 50 listed on the market as well. So in general, there seems to be a bit of an oversupply of these cars. They don't really seem to be selling for under 60k. We've got multiple examples. Personally, I think if you are going to pick one up, I would be looking to pick one up for around about the £50,000 mark, just because at 60k, they don't really seem to be selling. This one there, 54,000 miles, been listed for quite a while already and has been reduced £3,400 in less than a month. So, as mentioned, then we're also going to take a look at the performance models, but in general, a C8 RS7 base spec, which came out in 2020, you can pick one up with low miles, around 20,000 for around 60k, which represents a massive loss from the list price. This one here then done just 19,000 miles up at 65k. Knew that car would have been around £120,000, full PPF and a great spec on it as well. We'll also take a look at some of the manufacturer approved cars. So again, that one dropped 4.5k, and that has been dropped by a couple of grand literally since the back end of last year. So in less than 2 months, that car's been dropped nearly £5,000. This one been listed for quite a while. To give you an idea of the more long-term depreciation, that one has dropped £24,000, and that is also a performance spec car as well. So again, not just the C8 standard spec, but also the newer performance model with around 20 brake horsepower extra has also been significantly reduced as well. And personally, I think if you're comparing the likes of this to the M3 Touring, the standard M3 Saloon, these do represent great value for money, similar to the likes of the F90 M5. However, these cars, in my opinion, are a lot newer inside. So as mentioned, we are also going to take a look at the list price from Audi. You can see there the RS7 Sportback starts at an on-the-road price of just over £121,000. And that does not include any of the options. If you're adding the likes of the 4-spring pack, you can get into the range of £140,000 for an RS7 with the carbon black and the 4-spring spec. So next, what we're going to do, as mentioned, is take a look at the RS7 performance cars. So you saw there the list price is around 121k. These have been hit massively, just like the C8. You can now buy an RS7 Performance for under £80,000. These cars have lost between £40,000 and £50,000 from the list price. You can see there, these three cars have lost £25,000 since being listed by their relative dealerships. Two of them are also at Audi dealers as well. These cars, as mentioned, come with around 20 extra brake horsepower, slightly more Alcantara. The interior is slightly revised. However, as you can see there, these cars, in my opinion, compared to the likes of the newer M3 and M5, aren't as desirable, especially with the lack of interior upgrades. In my opinion, they generally lacked in the interior, and obviously the difference in performance isn't that great, which means these cars have also been hit with massive depreciation. And as you can see here, these cars have been dropped around 25 grand, and that is since the back end of last year and early January. You can see this one here, every few weeks has been dropped a few £1,000s, and that has just led to the prices of these cars almost crashing. And these cars again are on 24 plates, 73 plates. So there's some of these cars, most of these cars are sort of less than a year old, or coming up to a year old. So again, very low miles, brand new cars at £40,000 to £50,000 off the list price. This one here is in just 151 miles from new. And as you can see there, £89,000 with a few options. That car has been reduced massively. That car has probably lost in the region of £35,000 to £40,000 after 151 miles. So again, big drops in these cars, not very desirable. The competition, in my opinion, has definitely got a lot of advantages over these cars nowadays due to the lack of upgrades Audi made. And you can see we've got around 25 of these cars listed, a lot of them not selling. So again, if you are buying one, specifically a performance model, I would try and pick one up for around the sort of £85,000 mark, just because anything over 90, 100k isn't really selling, and you can buy a brand new one at heavy discounts from the dealer. And that is with also the Vorsprung spec as well. So we'll also take a look at some of the top spec models, which list at about £140,000. So if we filter to specifically the Vorsprung model, and then we can take a look at those as well. So Performance currently one for sale, and again that £20,000 nearly drop from the dealer. And if we have a look, I think the Vorsprung models are generally selling for around £100,000, as we see. Yeah, here we go. So Vorsprung model, £112,000 from the dealer. So again, another 30 grand drop. And then we've got other cars listed for around about 100k. Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments. Again, big drops on the RS7. Personally, I think due to the lack of practicality and the lack of upgrades on the performance model, these cars have dropped significantly. And if you are looking to pick up a C8 RS7, I would look to get one for 50k. At that price, it is a good buy. For a performance model, if you're getting one at around £75,000, I think it would be a good buy. These seem to be listed for quite a while and not selling, so about 75k is what I would pay for one of those. Let me know your thoughts in the comments as mentioned. Make sure to follow me over on TikTok and also Instagram for more frequent posts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Comment down below any suggestions for future ideas. Make sure to like, share and comment as well. And I'll see you all for the next one. Bye for now.